Good afternoon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our virtual break room. I'm Lauren Sagayan, your moderator, and I'm joined by my fellow moderator, Emma Tozer. We're excited to bring back another session of our virtual break room. We haven't had time to do these as of recent, but we did start this series back when the pandemic started, and we were really trying to use these online engagements as an opportunity to deliver valuable information and resources and services amid the COVID-19 pandemic. So we hope today that you find the information we bring you very useful, and please pass it on to your networks. Today, we are welcoming Chris Valuckas and Jesus Garcia from our Community and Recreation Services Department. So thank you in advance to Chris and Jesus for joining us today. Chris and Jesus both lead critical pandemic-related services for our most at-risk community members during the pandemic. Much of their pandemic-related operations are conducted out of the Ruggieri Senior Center. When the pandemic first occurred, the city closed the senior center for its normal operation as seniors were advised and asked to shelter in place. Since then, the senior center has pivoted drastically to be sort of a critical hub for resources during the pandemic. So we're going to learn a lot about that today. Today, the center currently hosts 3 different food distribution programs and also hosts the Caravan Program, which provides safe overnight parking for the homeless. So that's a lot of what you're going to learn about today, and we'll dive into details with Chris and Jesus. Before I turn it over to Emma, who's going to start the conversation with Chris and Jesus, I just want to give some instruction to those of you participating or watching today. In case you have questions, we welcome them. In fact, we really encourage questions. There's 2 ways that you can provide questions to us. We are live on Facebook right now, so hi Facebook. You can leave us comments on Facebook, and we will go ahead and monitor those and go ahead and pass your questions along there. If you're joining us via the Blue Jeans teleconferencing app, there's 2 features that you can utilize to send in your questions. So one would be the chat function. All you do is simply type your comments and questions in there, or the Q&A feature, which is another option for you to send your questions in. So with that said, I will go ahead and turn it over to Emma. She's going to start the conversation with Chris and Jesus.
Thanks, Lauren, and thank you, Chris and Jesus, again for joining us. I was hoping you guys could both kind of start off with just introducing yourselves to the people tuning in. What is your role at the Senior Center?
I'll start. First off, thank you, Lauren and Emma, for having Jesus and I today. We're very honored to be a part of this. So my name is Chris Valuckas, and I've been with the City of Union City for over 20 years now. Done a lot of different things with the city, but I've actually been the supervisor for the Ruggieri Senior Center since 2012. So it was definitely a change because I work primarily with youth-focused programs. So working with seniors was definitely a change for me. But in the last 8 years, it's become a huge part of my life, and as I have gotten personally older too. I'm officially an AARP member this year, so I am a member myself of the center. So it's a big part of my life. It's really working here at the Senior Center. It feels like a family. Even the building itself feels like a house. So the fact that you're in this house with all these programs, with all these family members, the seniors that come here to the center, it's really been a huge part of my life for the last 8 years. And I wouldn't change a thing. I really enjoy working here and working with the seniors and offering them programs for them. So, so that has been like the latest chapter of my career working with the city, and it's been a great one. So thank you for having me.
All right, my turn. So I'm Jesus Garcia, and kind of the same with Chris. I've been here for since summer of '94, working part-time as a camp counselor, and then just got hired on full-time, and I've been also involved with a lot of different things, from working with teens and youth and camps and after school programs to now, working with adult programming with like, music classes, martial arts classes, um, dealing with the Caravan program now, dealing with the activity guide. So, uh, yeah, the teen workshop. I don't know, a lot of stuff here with the city. But yeah, it's been great. I've been here at the senior center for the last, I believe, 3 years now. I was primarily at Kennedy for most of my time, but these last 3 years, I think Chris put it correctly. It kind of feels like another home here with all the seniors coming in, talking with you and everything, bringing you little treats and stuff. So it's been great here at the senior center and being involved with a lot of the senior programming too, which really isn't part of my job description, but I've been involved with a lot of the special needs, special programs, special events here, special needs even. I mean, it's just different things here that comes with the program and the center. So it's been great. It's been a great experience here.
Great, thank you guys. And Chris, I was kind of hoping that you could talk about, I know that the senior centers kind of pivoted a lot during the pandemic. Can you talk about what programs the senior center offered before COVID-19 and what are you offering now? And kind of a follow-up to that, have you noticed any difference in the people who are visiting the center prior to and during the pandemic?
Sure. So before COVID-19, we were pretty hustling and bustling. We were open 5 days a week. We were open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day. So we were getting upwards to about an average of 200 people here every day, sometimes more than that. So the center was full. It was full of activities. We had anything ranging from a mahjong class in the sunroom to a ballroom dance class in our assembly hall. So there was constant activity and people and human interaction. So once COVID-19 hit, that everything, all of that interaction now is gone in that regard. So we really had to think about how we could still provide services to the seniors. And it wasn't actually it wasn't just seniors too. This building actually was used for our special needs program. So for example, we would have over 200 special education students from Logan and from Fremont and Newark coming into this building for activities and events. So all of those people, all of that energy, that vitality, again, is now it's closed off. So we had to find a way to still be able to offer some semblance of that once we closed down. And it's been a challenge. I think it's something when we first closed down at our bear, figure out what we're going to do. Definitely rely on our other cities plus and their senior centers and programs as well, and Newark and Fremont and Hayward. We definitely try to support each other and see, what we're all doing to see, hey, we're offering this, are you offering that? No, that's a great idea, and share information. So, we got our bearings, we got back on the horse, so to speak, and slowly but surely we've been trying to offer programs for the seniors that have that engagement, have that interaction. Now, is it perfect? Is it exactly the same? No, absolutely not. But it's definitely something. For example, today we had an exercise class. It's called Sit and Fit with Lupe, and Lupe is one of our volunteer instructors. We actually have a little mini studio in our classroom. It's not very high tech, but we have a private studio where our instructor actually teaches in that room. And so she teaches out to a big TV on a Zoom account to over 30 students right now. So that's just an example of how we're bringing that connection back. Because that class was very important to a lot of our members. She was offering it 3 times a week. We were getting, up to like 50 students each day. She'd brag about it each day. Oh, my numbers are so good. I need a bigger room. And so, but once everything kind of shut down, she didn't have a class to teach anymore and have class to take. But now we're offering that again. So that's just an example of what we're doing. We're offering a lot of Zoom classes. We do have a we do have a social distance walking group, which is outside of the center that we're doing, and we're trying to expand our creativity about what we're going to do. And I could talk a little bit more about that later, but again, it's just all about being creative and being resourceful. And I know Jesus can attest to that. In our field, it's in recreation, it's all about that, finding, trying to find ways to be creative and do things outside of the box sometimes. So, and in regards to the other part, have we seen different people coming in? Like, I know for the Zoom virtual classes, yeah, we have. We've actually gotten people outside who aren't members of the center who said, hey, I heard about this class and I'm interested in taking it. So that's been kind of cool, having people that aren't even from the area come on. Like, we have a ukulele class that's offered on Zoom, and we had some outside people that play ukulele. They weren't at the time members of the center, but I think it was exciting for our members to meet new people as well, especially not directly in Union City. So in regards to our programs outside, I'll let Jesus answer that one, because we definitely had some different people, but I'll let Jesus take the lead on that one.
You want me to go now, or should we talk about it later?
I don't know. That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. Good.
Yeah, and
Good
team,
segue.
I would just add that we did get a Facebook Live question on this, so I think we should be able to respond to our guest who's following right now.
What's the question?
Sorry, let me unmute myself here. So the question is, do you invite outdoor safe activities for seniors and also walking groups?
We have a walking group that we've had since actually the end of March. It's at Quarry Lakes. It was actually started by our members at the center. It's offered on Mondays and Thursdays. So fortunately, the parking is free at Quarry Lakes right now, which is a huge bonus for people to be able to park there. We do follow guidelines that people have to wear masks and have at least 6 foot distance apart when they're walking with each other. So that program's been pretty successful. Obviously, most of the people that come to the group are seniors and members of the center, but we have had people from the outside that have expressed interest in taking the class, and we haven't said no to them. We've encouraged them to take part. We're hoping, one day when we open up again, that maybe they'll be interested in becoming members of the center and then joining that walking group when it comes back here, because that's been a long tradition. The walking group here at the center, the members would walk early in the morning and then come back here for coffee. So there's no coffee at Quarry Lakes as far as I know, but they're doing the walking. And to add on to that, we're going to be starting a social distancing Tai Chi class in our courtyard in our parking lot. And that's going to be starting next month. That's actually, because of the county guidelines, we have to be very, very strict with our rules, masks, temperature readings, social distancing, sanitizing. So, and also the number has to be incredibly small. We can only have 12 students, including the instructor. But that being said, I mean, it's a good dilemma to have, because we're actually getting a lot of interest. So I think right now we're going to have to offer multiple classes and not just one class, because we are getting a lot of people that are interested in joining that class. But again, Tai Chi, another program that we had here at the center, we'd offer that on Thursday mornings. We used to get 30 to 40 people every morning in taking that class. So again, people want that normalcy back. They want that routine. So.
Hey, Chris, for the Quarry Lakes walking group and also for, this upcoming Tai Chi class, how can people, if they're watching right now, how can they connect to a point of contact or to more?
Yeah, they can go on. I know I do not have the direct link memorized, but I don't know, Emma, if you do. We have our virtual recreation center on as an option on the city website. I know the information for those programs are on there. People can also email me directly if they want at my email address. That's no problem either, and I can send them the information. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's also on the electronic activity guide online. So if they go to the senior section, it's all on there. They can email us directly or call the phone number that's on there right now.
Awesome. And I was hoping too, so kind of in addition to all of the virtual programs that you're offering and the walking groups, you're also offering, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 different food distribution programs. And I was hoping that you could, both of you, talk about how that came to be. Were you offering that before? Just kind of some more information about how people can access those programs.
Chris, do you want to talk about TriCity, and then I'll do the Farms to Family?
Yeah, I'll be fast. I know the one thing, actually, I'll just talk about the Spectrum Lunch Program. We've had that program, for over 20 years now, since the building's been open. We've been open since 1998. And when we closed down, we have our food program, our lunch program, had to be changed to a pickup drive-through pickup program. So Spectrum is working with us on that. We've been doing that since March, and we're distributing 43 lunches a day. The members come up, they pick up their lunch, we drop it off in their vehicle, and then they drive on their way. So actually, our numbers are better now because of that. We actually are getting more people with that drive up curbside program than we were when we were doing it in our dining room. So, but that's one food resource that we have.
The other ones, we have the TriCity volunteers. They bring food, boxes and bags of cans sometimes to the senior center here twice a month. So it is on the first and third Monday of the month, which actually this upcoming Monday is a holiday, the first Monday one. So we're not having it on the first Monday. So it'll just be on the third. But Kelly over at TriCity Volunteers is great. She brings us a lot of stuff, and usually it's only 100 boxes, so that one goes pretty quickly. But if you are interested in that one starts at 12 o'clock on the third Monday of the month for September. So yeah, so you got to come and line up because there are people already lining up and saving spots here. The other program that we do is the Farms to Family program, which was started back in, I believe it was June, Chris? I don't remember when. I believe it was June.
Yeah, I think it started in early June. You're right.
Yeah. And that was we got the information through Patty, who used to have Patty's Coffee on the other side of town. He's the one who kind of brought this program over to us. And so we started handing out about 150 boxes in the beginning, twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's now grown to 200 boxes because the demand is there. So we were having about 200 people line up every day now. Well, the 2 days a week that we distribute, Tuesday and Thursdays. Right now, though, currently it is only on Thursdays because the program is going through a change. We're hoping to be back a second day starting sometime in September, but we haven't gotten the date yet when that'll start. But for sure right now, we are going to have some this Thursday, and next week we're not too sure yet because of the whole transition in the programming going on.
Great, thank you. And Jesus, since your mic is still unmuted, can you talk a little bit about the Caravan program? What's the background of it? How is it working right now during COVID? Are you noticing any differences right now with the program?
Yeah, definitely. So just real quick on the background. So the program was started in 2016. And it was meant to be here a safe parking program for families with children that lived or went to school here in Union City. We opened it up to more people, to singles, to couples. And currently right now, there are 43 vehicles registered for the program for this session right now. Again, the program was just a safe parking spot, overnight at different community centers and churches. When it's here at the community center, We had showers available. We have washer and dryer available for people, which was being utilized a lot. Uh, Now that COVID is hit, unfortunately our showers aren't working right now, but so that's not available, but the washer and dryer is available. The other thing we did too is through a grant, we do have the mobile shower unit that is here on Thursday mornings from 7 to 10 a.m., which is open to everybody, not just the Caravan participants, but we're also paying for the Friday night mobile unit at Our Lady of the Rosary, and that's through Fremont. So they have a nice mobile unit with 2 showers and 3 sets of washers and dryers in there that anybody can use. But the program is really the way it's changed, I guess, with the whole COVID thing. When it first started, we really didn't admit anybody in, just all of our participants safe. And we are slowly now starting to admit individuals and families again. So that's gone up. And what I've seen the big increase in is families with children actually being admitted. So I've had about 4 different families with children in the last 2 weeks come in. And they've mentioned, actually, one of them mentioned it was because of COVID and not being able to work and stuff. So we're going to start seeing some of those families and individuals coming in because of the COVID crisis. But the other thing, too, is we have had a huge amount of donations, especially in reusable masks that we were able to pass out to all the participants, as we know those are so important right now during this time. So the community has really stepped up and made a lot of reusable masks for us. We've gotten a lot of food donations for our participants. Again, with the showers, through Fremont, we've been able to have that. And then we've been able to recommend families and individuals to Project Room Key, which has allowed a few of our participants to go into shelters and hotel rooms, and hopefully, being helped a little bit more. Yeah. So it's kind of a real quick overview of the program, and we're constantly thinking of getting more and more things to our participants here.
Great, thank you. And then something that I was curious about, with the impact of COVID, I was hoping you could both talk about how has daily operations changed at the senior center? Like, what does an average day look like for you now? Because I'm sure it's quite different.
Well, I guess I can talk real quick here. Well, now, honestly, I mean, the food program has really taken a lot of our time. Well, my time at least, especially on the Tuesdays and Thursdays when we were picking up the food, because myself, Chris, and a few volunteers, we would drive over to Central, pick up the 200 boxes, load them up in our vehicles, come back to Senior Center, unload them, and then wait for 12:30 to pass them out. So 2 days out of the week, it's been working with the food program, and then waiting on Spectrum to deliver their food, making sure our volunteers are here, because if they're not, then we're the ones passing out the lunches too for Spectrum at noon. I still have the activity guide. So for me, summer and fall, I mean, I'm working on the activity guide constantly. We're still monitoring, our fee classes, trying to work with my fee instructors to see what we can do online and virtually. And then, the teen workshop as well, trying to make sure that, whenever there's stuff out there, we go and clean it up and all that. So it's definitely changed our daily activities here.
Yeah, there's a lot more heavy lifting involved. I think any accusations of us being pencil pushers has gone by the wayside, because there's still administrative stuff that we have to do. But a huge part of our job, like Jesus and myself, was just the interaction with the public. Since the building would be open and we'd have a couple hundred people here every day, that would be a huge part of our job responsibilities, interacting with the members and talking with them and helping them. I think now that they're not inside the building, there's been definite changes. So there are times when Jesus and myself are we're sitting at our desks, we're answering emails and phone calls and stuff like that. But then at the same time, we're, like Jesus had mentioned, we're out lifting boxes and moving them, and also interacting with all the participants outside, making sure that people don't smash into each other's cars in our parking lot. So it's not just Jesus and myself; it's all of our staff. They're doing different things now, because I think it's all about, being essential to the community, being essential employees. For example, like our admin, our main office person, Ed, up front, he's actually working Caravan at night. He's a Caravan attendant. So he's working a third shift, from 8 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 8 p.m., sorry, to 7 a.m. So that's a huge change in work responsibilities, working in the office a couple days a week, and now he's working like a third shift. So, but again, it just comes back to being essential. I know some of our coworkers are working at City Hall, checking people in, working as park monitors, checking on our parks on the weekends and also our ball fields. So I know with our department, again, it's about being flexible and, just answering the call with whatever is needed, and especially since we're closed right now inside, we're definitely going outside more than we were before. So, yep.
So it looks like we're getting close to time here. So I'm going to wrap it up with one last question, and kind of piggybacking off of what you said, Chris, that last bit about how, a lot of the staff has kind of had to assume different responsibilities right now. What do you think the senior center is going to be doing for the rest of the year? And kind of looking past that, what do you think the senior center is going to be doing in a post-COVID? Are there going to be some things that you still hold on to, like food distribution, or have you thought into next year yet? Or
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, so much of it is uncertain. Of course, we'd love to be open again. The members, we try to call the members on a regular basis, and a huge, question we get all the time is, when are you guys going to open again? You have to break the bad news to them that we're not going to be open, and even now we're telling people we're definitely not going to, most likely not be open for the rest of the year, and for a lot of our seniors, that's not the best news in the world, but at the same time, we're trying to counter that with offering more stuff. We're working on offering more Zoom classes, more social distancing classes outside. If we hopefully, down the road, when we do open again, I'm hoping that we could potentially still keep some of the stuff that we're doing now with the food distribution, along with what we're doing inside too. We'll see. A lot of it, I think the whole thing is about trying to offer as much service as possible to the people that you're serving. So I don't, right now, I think, Jesus has done an amazing job with, getting the partnerships for the food distribution. So we're working on, he's working on more of that. Like I said, myself and my coworkers were working on trying to get more activities. That's right now, that's what we're just, we're trying to be creative and just focus on what can we offer our seniors, because just the visualization of them being at home, not being able to socialize, not being able to have physical activity, or even potentially not being able to have food. Just focusing on that and how can we, try to resolve those issues.
Yeah, I think I agree too. I grew up here in Union City. I've lived here. I live pretty close by, and I run into a lot of the members actually. It's some of the members actually that play the pool and table tennis live by my house, and they're always asking me, when are you guys going to open? And I got to tell them, it's like, we're not sure, we're not sure when this is going to open. But I mean, even the Caravan participants, they're the ones who really miss it, because some of them were members of the senior center, and some came just for basic services, whether it was, heat up a meal at noon, take a shower at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that, or just really basic stuff. And they're the ones who are really have been asking about the center too, like, hey, when are you guys going to open? Because I do need it. And I understand that. And it's unfortunate right now for them.
But I mean that, sometimes the solutions aren't perfect, but we're definitely trying to find solutions. Like Jesus had mentioned about showers, getting the Clean Start program here is a huge benefit. We haven't figured out how to play pool or table tennis with Zoom, but if anybody has any ideas how to do that, we definitely are open to it. So we're just trying to think outside the box of like, hey, how can we do this? Again, is it perfect? No, but I think it's just we're trying to get it as close to what we had before. Even us working in an empty building is strange, but it is kind of normal now. So we're kind of trying to get the new normal for our members too. Like this is what we're doing, and hoping that they so far they seem to enjoy what we've been offering. So we're just trying to do more of that.
All right. Well, thank you both so much for coming on the show and being the stars, sharing about the really important work that you're doing, for answering our questions. Thank you again. And thank you, Lauren, for moderating and checking up on Facebook Live. And we'll see everyone next time.
Yeah, and just a quick heads up, I went and put Chris's email on the Facebook comment section. Maybe I'll throw Jesus's email on there too. And so I let people know that if they didn't catch a detail on some of the programs and services that you mentioned, that they can go ahead and reach out to you guys personally. We also went ahead on the Facebook comments and made sure that we directed them to the webpage as well, to the Virtual Rec Center. And again, I just want to echo Emma. I've been co-workers to both of you guys for a while now, and it's been very remarkable to see how much you've had to pivot and how fast you've done it, and just how you've adapted to serving the community during a very critical time. So I just want to send you my own thank you, and we really appreciate you, telling the story on this platform to the public as well. So thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us
all.
again.
Yeah, thank
All
you
right.
for having me.
See you soon.
Bye.
Yeah.